my goal for this class is to turn it into a workshop. Let's see if it's possible. If you guys have data that you can prepare between now and the next class, it'll be useful for you guys to have this data available so you can actually follow along with for your own brands that you're working on. Jamarius, for example, if you go grab Honeylove data, transaction data, Facebook data, whatever it is, you can potentially like take the code that we have, run a market selection exercise, maybe run a media mix model and stuff like that, so that as you kind of pursue this stuff, you can take those data sets and apply it to the algos or algos to the data sets and get something out of it in the class and turn it into an actual workshop kind of an experience as opposed to just a lecture. That's number one. Number two is that also secure access to various systems, Google Analytics, Facebook, and whatnot. So you can actually when we talk about certain stuff, you can open up Facebook, look at what we're talking about, see what the different attribution settings are, pull down a report and stuff like that. So it becomes more, as opposed to just getting a lecture, you can actually make it applicable to what you do on a day-to-day basis. Okay. So I'll give you some directions on that. So you can go secure access, get some data sets, so you can work alongside as we learn in the class. That's number one I want to talk about. Second is, I want, if it's possible, this is the first time I'm doing this masterclass. So if we can share data, if you can open up your systems and talk through a question that you have in class, it's super valuable. So when I talk about like the Google Analytics and how it's so different than Facebook, if you guys can show what this looks like in your site and ask a question, it becomes so much more valuable for us to look at real world use cases. So I might send you an NDA to sign so that we all feel comfortable sharing in the setting. I mean, you don't have to share anything you don't feel comfortable, but I'm going to try and see if that's possible for us to do that, so that it becomes a lot more valuable to have this classroom setting be much more real world, as opposed to just a bunch of slides. You have to go back and figure out how it applies to your real world use cases. If you can bring real world use cases to the class, we can make this more interactive and more valuable for everybody. Okay.